Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another round of Master Phil in your corner with your host, Master Phil.
All right. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Master Phil here with Master Phil in your corner with my newly anointed sidekick here, Conor McGregor. He's working in the place of the injured Dougie Fresh Friedman. So we're wishing Dougie a quick and full recovery.
Full recovery?
Yeah. And too bad that he's missing this episode because this is episode number 69. You know, episode number 69 is, a number that's near and dear to so many people out there. And
that's a lot of shows, Phil. You made that. You've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, it's crazy. 69 shows. I can't believe it. It's a milestone.
Milestone?
A milestone. Yeah. And so for this milestone episode, we're going to delve into something that is really near and dear to my heart. It's the body bell method.
Oh, body bell method,
Yeah.
yes.
And we're going to have a discussion on the top 10 reasons to train with kettlebells and body weight.
That's a great way to start.
Yeah, I mean, here. But before we get into this whole thing, let's thank our sponsors. Since we do have the body bell method up there, we'll keep it up there. On the weekend coming up very, very soon, actually 2 weeks from today, I'll be flying out to Denver, and I'll be hitting the trail.
Nice, Denver.
Yeah. We're doing a seminar at Lux Strength, and at Coach Karis. She's on Instagram. Check her out. It's got all great stuff. We've worked together before, so she's hosting my seminar there, and we're doing a 2-day seminar, levels 1 and 2, for the body bell method at Lux Strength in Denver, Colorado.
Denver is a great city.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a great trip. I believe you've been looking forward to this for a while.
Yes. Yeah, we put this thing together. Last time I worked with Karis, we were down in Atlanta, Georgia, doing a seminar there.
Never been there. Nice, good city. I mean,
Oh yeah, I've been to Atlanta a bunch of times.
Nice spots.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the thing was, I was going down there a lot. I wound up doing a lot of kettlebell seminars down there, and then I used to be part of Team Allianz in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Or Jiu-Jitsu. So I used to go down to headquarters all the time. I was an instructor there at Allianz.
Nice.
And
frequent member.
Yeah. Well, and I switched teams and I went to Checkmat after that.
Oh.
But I was with the Allianz, and the reason I left Allianz is because my direct instructor I got my black belt from moved to a different organization, so I went with him.
Well, it's that says a lot. If you're following someone, there's a reason for it, right?
Yeah.
So I must good.
Both teams are great, though. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But I wanted to stay with the person I had the relationship with.
Absolutely, and I think last week you're talking about those relationships you have with your martial arts instructors. That and you're going to learn from the best. You want to follow where they're going.
I chose them for a reason.
Yeah.
So so now we also have to thank philross.com.
Absolutely.
Yes. And because without philross.com, this podcast would not be possible. And you want to check out, see, I have this Fit Team here. So if you want to get any of the Fit Team products, just go check out philross.com, go into products, and you'll see the Fit Team listing as a direct link. You can see all of our different nutritional products. They're 100% organic.
Nice.
No garbage. You got to check the ingredients on them. They're top shelf.
No, and that's reassuring. God knows what's in some in the market.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, here. The funny thing is when I was doing my master's degree for health sciences, and I was studying nutrition.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of nutritional training through my personal training organization and so forth, but I will tell you unequivocally, well, except statistics was pretty hard, but I was prepared for it to be difficult.
Yeah.
But the nutrition master's level was ridiculous. This class took me, no BS, 30 hours a week for 8 weeks. 30 hours a week. Yeah, it was like almost all chemistry.
That is intense.
It's incredibly intense. But I learned so much in that. It was
the amount of details you need to recall in the future.
Yes.
You're not just studying for the test, and then it's
No.
as a lot of people teach to the test. No,
Yep.
you remember and you have to recall
Oh, yeah.
what these ingredients are for and what's don't miss anything.
Yeah.
It's important to keep tabs.
Well, one of the things is, actually, I teach at this college now too. Online. Yeah. And, generally what we do is we have 8-week courses, except the statistics wind up being 16 weeks.
Oh, of course.
But, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Statistics wasn't my favorite when I was at school. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually wound up doing very well in it. But I got a tutor, and I studied so hard.
Well, that's great. Yeah. I think everyone hearing the word statistics becomes a statistic. They don't want to
shudder.
They just I remember one. But I think, and that says you wanted to learn, but that's with a lot of things. If the passion isn't there to how are you going to soak up that information?
No,
that knowledge isn't going to stay with you.
No, you won't. So for this nutrition class, now, just give you an example. Generally, what we do is there's 8-week courses, and every week there's a forum post. So on a forum post, you go in there and you create your post on the specific subject, and you have to reference it. So and it's always good, even if you know it inside and out.
Right.
You have to reference it. As a matter of fact, one time, actually more than once, I referenced one of my own books.
Well, it's I feel like everything should be referenced, especially with how the internet's been involved in everything today. Sources and references should be listed at the end of every paper we wrote in college.
Yeah, well, I do it for all my students.
Yeah, and
all my students have
to give
to
that up. And I'm sorry, it's easy to make those references now. I remember I had to write out every single one when I was in school. Now it just does it for you. It's a lot of things are done for you.
Oh yeah, there's no excuse not to have references. Okay, because when I was in school, I graduated college in 1984, so I'm there handwriting stuff.
Right.
Yeah. For using the Dewey Decimal System, using microfiche, to look things up.
That's some serious study compared to today, where it's I gotta search this on the internet machine and just find the answer.
Things, and also, people are a little bit lazy with that too, because you want to use peer-reviewed journals as your sources. You want to use real sources that are vetted. So Google Scholar is good, and then of course I have the different libraries for the colleges that I work at. And another great site is statista.com.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it's great for stats. It's incredible. You can look up anything there. If you want to look up the United Crime Report, UCR, FBI stats, you can look up anything on drugs.
Yeah, the amount of knowledge you get from those sources too, when they're presented, and I love looking at data sets where it's data visualization is what it's called, where they clear up any you see the trends, it's a graphic, it's like graphic design, but you see the information behind it. I love that.
Because the numbers are one thing, but then you see the graphic representation of the numbers. It helps put that mental picture in your mind, and that's especially over time. You see the trends over time.
Yeah,
they're always good to look at. But let me
correlation. Go ahead. Yeah,
because I'm going to get completely off on a tangent.
Let's finish up. It's all good.
So on this course, we'd have, as opposed to doing one. Anyway, so you do one, you do your post, right? Then you have to comment on 2 other people's posts.
Gotcha.
And then you have to reply to the professor.
Right.
Okay. So, and there was, initially it was like 500 words on your initial post and 250 for each of your replies, and they had to be referenced at the graduate level.
Okay.
For the undergrad level, you don't have to have all your replies referenced. So we do that. So instead of 1 a week, we had 2 a week. In addition to that, we had 4 assignments. Okay. Each one of these assignments, we used to have the NutriCalc website.
You said 4 assignments.
4 assignments
a week?
No, out of 8 weeks.
8 weeks, yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
And what you do is you go into the NutriCalc website, and there'd be a 23-page printout, and you had to extrapolate the information from that.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Here, they'd give you a situation. So let's say you have a 6'2" female basketball player. She's a sophomore in college. She wants to lose X amount of body weight
Mhm.
and then increase her. She wants to increase her density of her muscle.
Okay.
So she
Yeah.
wants to change her body composition.
Gotcha.
Okay. So she'll go from 33% body fat down to 25% body fat, and she wants to increase her vertical jump. You have to design not only her training regimen
Right. Yeah.
for the 4 month period.
Right.
Not only that, but you have to program out all of her caloric intake and what nutrients she's going to get.
That's
Okay.
incredible.
Yeah. So this would be anywhere from like a 12 to 15 page paper.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Yeah.
All the information.
Oh, we're not done.
Oh,
We're not done.
excuse me.
Yeah. Then there was we had a book that went along with it. Thank God I read the book 2 weeks prior to taking the course.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it was a 700-page book and all the tests. Oh no, they called them quizzes. How many questions in a quiz for you?
At the college level?
No, whatever, yeah, like a quiz.
I would say what 10 is
Yeah, like 10,
par
maybe
for the
20,
course, right?
Yeah.
20?
Yeah, ours were 50.
Oh,
They
jeez.
called them quizzes. So
Yeah.
so we had
It's just a name. No, it's a test,
yeah.
but call it a quiz.
So we had one of those a week, and then there was a cumulative quiz, which was 70 some odd questions at the end.
Jeez.
This was my course.
I first reading the book before even taking the class, power move, and it's not your first rodeo
Right,
going like that. Because imagine you just walking first day. Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
any of this.
I looked at what was what was expected of me, and I saw I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is going to be really hard.
Yeah.
So it was not easy. Plus, you have to remember at the time, I was working full time, and I
Of course.
was teaching at the junior college.
You're not just a student. That's your only job.
Yeah.
And not many people have that, work in school, but that management of everything, it's
Oh, yeah.
impressive you graduated, right? And
Yeah.
and got all those quizzes out of the way.
Yeah. It was quite the task.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, it enables me to, help my clients and give proper advice and help me with writing my books, which I'm, currently writing the exercise snack book.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's
You don't hear snacks when you're talking about exercise.
Well, you
should try to
should.
cut that out. Well, we know
exercise snacks.
So what's the difference? Well, you can't eat. You're not eating Doritos.
No,
So-
you're doing push-ups, sit-ups, squats as your exercise snack.
Yeah.
That's your exercise snack. You're doing a little bit of time, 5 to 10 minute bouts
throughout. Yeah,
throughout the day.
in between those snacks. It's a great tag.
Yeah.
To fit in your day of that kind
Yeah,
of.
it's look
kind
the number one issue with people not working out is they say they don't have the time. But you know what? If you have the time, little spots during the day, you got time for a 10-minute walk, you got time for 5 minutes of push-ups and sit-ups.
Mhm.
You can do some squats, some bridges, something along those lines.
Yeah.
You know what? Swing a kettlebell and get back to work. Curl some dumbbells and get back to work.
Yeah, and I don't see that any different than you see a golfer in the middle of like a parking lot waiting
Right.
for just standing around waiting for a ride, practicing their swing.
Yeah.
So that's this will take off. People will just be doing in the middle of their work day. Yeah,
Especially a lot of people are working remotely.
exactly.
And,
So they have that. It's like right next to their desk.
Right. You got a floor.
Yeah, exactly. You got like 6
6 feet. Well, the cool thing is about all these exercises I have, there's 52 workouts in it. So you basically have one workout a week.
Yeah.
And they can be done in a 6x6 space.
Perfect. So, you need 6 feet. We all know that amount
Right.
of space in between us.
Mhm.
What are you going to do in that amount of space?
Exactly.
You're going to
Work
work
out.
out. You're going to have some snacks.
Exactly.
Nice.
Good snacks. So let's get back to the top 10 reasons to train with kettlebells and body weight. So
Nice.
I'm going to go through the whole list, and then we're going to delve into the specifications
Great.
of each one of them. So number one is training on a neural level, strength without wasted bulk. 2 would be shoulder injury reduction. 3, explosive power, plyometrics, and ballistics.
Mhm.
Mobility would be number 4, rolling, shoulder, and hip opening. 5 is body weight, balance, body awareness, and deloading.
Mhm.
6, flexibility,
Yeah.
static and active stretching. Endurance, muscular and cardiovascular.
There you
8 would be weight class athletes.
go. Okay.
Okay, like a boxer, a wrestler,
Yeah.
MMA fighter.
Mhm.
9, better bang for the buck. It's time efficient.
Very good.
And 10, young athletes can train safely.
Very good.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You hear, overextending or anything like that. You think the kids are indestructible or they're learning.
Well, the other thing is that what kids do, especially young guys, they get in there, they try to load up the weights too much, and they have improper form.
Right. And that's starting off the worst way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you don't want to do that. So let's talk about number 1, and that's strength on a neural level. So, other strength training systems operate on developing strength through muscle hypertrophy. So that means like hypertrophy, right?
Right.
So
Right.
the muscle gets larger.
Right. The opposite of atrophy.
Right, atrophy. Yep.
Atrophy. Excuse me. Yeah.
Well, I know we're enunciating.
Yeah, we're spelling it out.
Yes. So, but the thing is that when you say hypertrophy, sometimes people sometimes hear hypotrophy, like hypo.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is,
Like it's
shrinking, like
exactly.
atrophy.
Right.
Yeah. So, it's muscle hypertrophy.
Okay.
So, in order to handle the larger resistive load, the muscle gets bigger. Okay.
Right.
Now, this does occur in kettlebells, but not to the extent. That's not what it just relies on. So the system of strength, it operates on a neural level. Kettleweight and bodyweight training strengthen the body from the inside out. So, we're starting at the core. And the muscle doesn't necessarily have to get a lot bigger in order for you to get stronger. So there's no machines, no
Oh.
benches, no fancy apparatus, and then we have a thing called proprioception. That's leveraged here. So proprioception
Mhm.
is your body's map of itself, and it helps you with your balance and knowing where your body is at, like your awareness in space.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
So the when we're talking about strengthening on a neural level, because a kettlebell has it has a changing center of gravity.
Right.
Okay, so you have a bell and a handle, right? Whereas
As
a bar,
as a sphere, right? Yeah.
yeah. Well, here if you have a bar or a dumbbell or bar or a machine or something like that,
Mhm.
you have a unilateral distribution of weight. Okay, kettlebells weight is offset.
Right.
So think about it. If I'm pressing something, right?
Mhm.
So when I'm moving my arm upward, the bell is changing. So my body has to compensate for that. So I'm recruiting all of my intrinsics.
Right. As it is changing its center,
Yes.
you have to be more the body adjusts for
Has
that.
to adjust to it.
Right.
Yes, has to adjust to that movement. And so therefore you have to recruit more of your intrinsics and the stabilizers,
Mhm.
and everything's going to run through the core. Because
Yes.
also when this happens, if you look at standard weight training, they generally take place in the frontal and sagittal planes, pushing here, side.
Right.
Okay. Where kettlebells takes place in the transverse plane.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going across. Where does life happen? In transverse plane.
Right. You're not evenly spreading out the weight daily.
Yeah. Look, okay, here you go
You're
shopping.
crossing. Yeah.
Right. You go shopping. You grab, are all the grocery bags the same weight?
Right. That and are you reaching for the milk perfectly?
I mean, the thing is, you grab a couple of suitcases, right? Are they both evenly matched?
No. And-
Or you grab one suitcase and a backpack.
right. And it's you try to meet that weight limit for the plane. We all know.
Know how that works.
Right.
So that's why it's cool. It trains you on a neural level. So my body is learning how to move efficiently, and also I'm lining myself up properly.
Right. And when you say neural, you mean the strongest muscle in your body, which is your brain.
Your brain.
Right.
Well, my brain is my brain is being trained or training my body how it needs to move.
Yeah. And it's that
The
repetition,
yep.
mind, body.
the muscle memory that you achieve.
Exactly.
You're patterning your body,
Mhm.
and the better you make the
Habits.
pattern, the better you become. You become more efficient.
Yes.
So you see a beginner use a kettlebell, and then you see an expert, and it's
Right.
like, wow.
You notice that difference.
Yeah. And the thing that's cool about it, as you get better in kettlebells, you can get more out of it. So you actually even have to work out less time.
That's amazing. That's a great tag right there.
Yeah.
The more you do, the less
you have to.
the less write
Or
that
the better
down.
you are, the less you have to do.
Right.
So it's a real good impetus to get good at things.
That's great.
Okay, so the next one would be shoulder injuries. So if you look at it, how many people do you know suffer from a shoulder injury? Right?
I know it's easy to pull that.
Oh yeah, it's most people are unaware how to pack the shoulders and engage latissimus dorsi. So you want to bring your shoulders back and down.
Right. Obviously,
Okay?
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to bring back. What does that also do for your cardiovascular system? It opens up your chest, enables you to breathe properly, and your
Right.
heart to operate good, as opposed to being all slumped over.
And then you're anxious, you're not breathing, it's
Mhm.
shallow,
Yep.
it's not full, it's not a deep breath, you're not reaching
Nope.
all the lungs, all lung
To the full capacity. Yeah, you're not going all the way down to the base of the lung.
Right.
Your I'll
Diaphragm.
guarantee you're not breathing with your diaphragm.
Right.
I'll breathe you're shallow breathing with your chest.
Yeah, and and you wonder what the onset of that is, where it's anxiety, or they're not fully working out correctly. You're doing it on the small amounts of breath.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna you will not get the full benefit of the movement either.
Yeah.
So now when we're taking the stress away from the shoulders, because if you look at the shoulders have a lot of little muscles. They're made up of a lot of small muscles, whereas the lats are pretty big. I mean, you hear of people hurting their shoulders all the time, but you hardly ever hear of someone tearing a lat muscle.
Oh,
It's it's a very difficult muscle to tear. So it's the largest one in the upper body. So we want to be able to take that weight into the back. So if my shoulders are packed and my lats are engaged,
right.
I'm going to do full range of motion, engaging the lat all the way at the bottom and access that lat when I'm pressing.
Right, because that's the largest one to set this standard for.
And now the other thing is that not just strength but mobility, because there's movements like the arm bar, pullovers, and things of this nature, which help with the mobility of the shoulder and opening it up and teaching you, how to pack the shoulders properly as well while you're moving and opening your body. There, some incredible movements. So, I've turned a lot of people on to these. It's funny because the gym that I'm teaching at, the center, Lux Strength.
Yeah.
Coach Karras over there says, you turned me on to this exercise. I do them all the time, and they help with every other movement.
That's a great testimonial, hearing that it's it branches out.
Oh yeah. It goes to all kinds of different directions with this,
and that kind of tweak that helps a lot more than what you're just doing.
Oh yeah. So now we can go to explosive power. That's would be number 3. Explosive power is developed through plyometric and ballistic movements. Kettlebell swings, snatches, and cleans are all the explosive movements that recruit the posterior chain. That's your low back, your glutes, your hamstrings, of course, your upper back as well, by accessing either weighted or body weight, generating power with squats, presses, push-ups, and development of explosive power required to accelerate, jump, throw, take down, or deliver a blow to an opponent. So this explosive power, bang.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how you develop from these. These are called the ballistic. So what's a ballistic? A ballistic, shooting, right? You watch cop shows.
Yeah.
Oh, came back from ballistics. Okay. So this is an explosive power movement. Question on that.
Off the bat, that's cause and effect, but that explosive
explosive power
behind that. That's the study of everything you've listed.
Oh yeah. So what we're doing here now, it generates from the hip. Everyone knows, I don't care what the sport is, whether it's golf, tennis, baseball, or boxing, martial arts, wrestling, football, all the power comes from the hips. Remember Happy Gilmore? It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. Okay. So this helps you develop that.
You see the stances in baseball. I'm thinking of Giancarlo Stanton for one, that they have the power is in that turning towards that swing.
Well,
and each batter has their own specific stance to work on their power for their swing.
the Yankees have been using kettlebells for a while,
It's a great,
just as an example.
yeah,
Okay. So and now a lot of NFL teams have switched over to using the kettlebells as well,
right.
and they're employing them. I mean, like you look at Nick Saban.
Oh, of course,
Yeah,
yeah,
he does kettlebells and MMA for his guys
and I'm sure
and other
he's
functional training.
yeah, he's telling all the high school kids he's
Yeah.
looking after to start doing kettlebells too before they
Yeah.
get to college.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're going to get into kids in these as well and why they're so good. So now we're going to number 4 would be mobility. Mobility. I
Mhm.
can speak. We don't simply bang out hardcore workouts. Okay.
No,
It's just not just crushing yourself every day.
no,
I mean, anybody can do that. You can put on music, do a circuit, and bounce around and
right,
throw heavy weights, and you're going to get injured. But we also utilize movements and restorative training as well. So, if you push your body, you have to both prepare for the session
right.
and then you have to cool it down. I know that we were talking earlier about stretching.
Right. Well, if you're going hard in the initially, right, anybody
Mhm.
can do that, but you have to understand after that is a certain recovery.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
recover, you have to rejuvenate. And the mobility training that we do
Mhm.
incorporates also the packing of the shoulders as you move your body. We use a lot of bridge work for spinal flexion and strength. There's thoracic mobility, as well as other movements designed for the hips, necks, wrists, ankles, feet, toes, even
Mm.
hands, fingers. Mobile and stable joints enable you to perform better. Not only do you perform better, but you reduce the incident and the
Oh,
severity of an injury as
right. The
well.
possibility, yeah, the severity,
Yeah.
how if there was,
Well, you're
how
yeah,
much it
yeah,
would
your
be.
yeah,
Yeah.
your recovery rate is better if you have a mobile joint, and you're doing your full range of motion on your movements. You're creating strength throughout the full range of movement. Look, if you're not flexible and mobile and you're doing heavy weight, what's going to happen at the spot that you can't reach all the way out?
Right. That adjustment. Well, the body
It's
has
going to be weak there.
right.
And you know what? When you're moving, when you're in combat, when you're doing your daily living,
Right.
the weakest link will break.
That's yeah. That's why you have to focus on the whole body as
It works as one unit.
one unit.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the other reason why I like kettlebells and body weight, because you're not just, oh, I'm doing chest day, I'm doing leg day, I'm doing
Right.
this. You know what? Your whole body moves as once.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you are a person who's either had an injury or you're a bodybuilder looking to compete in physique,
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
It's okay. I have no issue with that. Okay. That's what you want to do. That's your end goal. But if you want overall fitness, overall strength, your whole body moves at once. Every sport you do, requires your whole body. So, you want to make sure that you're training your whole body at once.
Yeah, full workout, and if it's, oh, you're doing leg day, you're ignoring your whole upper body is, it's all related, right?
Yeah, well, that's like if you're doing machines. Now, look, if
Yeah.
you're doing kettlebells, or if you're doing like if you're loading a bar up and you're doing deadlifts and squats,
Mhm.
you're still using your upper body for that.
Right.
But if you're sitting on a leg extension machine or a glute hammy machine,
Yeah, I remember
you're
you
not.
talking about machines too. You'd rather have free. It's if you're working out through the machine, you're becoming your body's adjusting within.
Well, actually, what happens is a machine will be the compensatory
Yes,
unit, and you will acerbate your asymmetries.
exactly. That's
The
what.
potential's there. So if my left arm is weaker than my right, and I'm benching on a machine, well, the weight's going to go up. But am I making my right side stronger than my left?
Right,
Am I
exactly.
evening myself out? No, if I have a bar there, or if I have 2 even weight kettlebells, heck, I have to, or I'm not going
Yeah,
to perform the movement.
exactly. You're not completing that rep.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I always remember that.
So it's important to have this this mobility to be able to go through that full range of motion.
Yes.
And we incorporate a lot of these mobility movements with and without a bell in the program.
Nice.
So now, body weight. Let's talk about body weight. The ability to control one's body through a myriad of movements not only displays but develops athletic ability and performance. The balance, strength, and spatial awareness created by body weight training is second to none. If you're unable to control your body properly, How can you safely maximize adding additional load? So this is the thing that drives me nuts. When people squat, and I've had this conversation with Marty Gallagher, who's been on the podcast before.
Mhm.
He's a buddy. He's a great guy. I mean, he's got his own podcast, Raw Podcast. I've actually been on it before.
Yeah.
And I call him the godfather of American powerlifting. Okay. Because the guy is just insanely intelligent in powerlifting and strength training and so forth. And he's trained people who have broken and hold world records in powerlifting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Serious.
So, he is a world champion in powerlifting.
That's amazing.
Competing in like Bulgaria and places like that. And he also won a bunch of things in Olympic lifting. So the guy's very well versed.
Yeah.
And he was a writer. He wrote for Muscle and Fitness for 35 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he actually co-authored one of my books with me.
That's great.
Yeah, Ferocious Fitness. So we worked together on creating that book.
So Godfather is a title. You don't give that just anybody.
No. He is the godfather of American powerlifting. And it's funny because independently, I use this progression for squats, and so is he. So, I didn't copy it from him, though I could have easily. But how did two people, come up with this methodology in this series? And the thing is that, if you look at the top of the pyramid of a squat, let's focus on the squat. So people come into the gym and they've never worked out before, and a trainer will put them on a squat rack.
Okay.
Load up, they put the bar on their back, and if they, whatever weight they can do, and they start squatting. And then they wonder why they hurt their back, they hurt their knees.
Okay.
They wind up getting injured, and they never reach their potential. Why is this? Because there's a sequence you must follow.
Right. And if you're jumping a sequence, what's the sequence
you're leaving gaps.
Yeah.
Here's the exact sequence. Write this down, people. You start with a body weight squat. Because here's the thing. If you cannot perform a body weight squat, what makes you think that loading you up with weight is going to make it better?
Yeah.
Any weaknesses, any discrepancies in your technique will just be exacerbated. They'll be exaggerated, emphasized by adding weight to it. So now you have bad form with weight on you. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So first start with the body weight squat. Now, once we can break parallel in the body weight squat, and sometimes I have people come into me and they can't squat. They say, "Oh, I can't squat." Well, listen.
Now?
You
can't squat now? Yeah.
Yeah. No, they can't squat. I say, "Yes, you can." No, I can't. I go, "Yeah, I'll go to the bathroom." Like, yeah, everybody sits on the toilet. Well, you have to squat, right? So
right. They say they can't.
So what do we do then? So I'll have them hold on to something. I'll have them grab on something and then squat that way. So we've decreased the angle. Okay?
Yeah.
So they'll hold on to you can use a TRX. You can hold on to a pole.
Right. It's you're changing. You're not alone. Right. Yeah.
And you're doing what we call an assisted squat. So
right.
And then what we'll do is I'll increase the range of motion there. Once they increase the range of motion there and they've developed the strength down at the bottom of the squat, because a lot of people haven't been squatting since they were 2 years old.
Right.
Once they've developed that strength there, then I'll gradually change the angle and have them go straight up and down.
In the correct sequence, what you were telling me. Yes.
And we're starting with first the body weight squat. First, get that down.
Right. That's the base to get back to that as we all did as toddlers, right? That's how you
squat it.
Yeah.
So now, then I take them and go on to a goblet squat. So that's where we hold a kettlebell or a dumbbell in front of you. Okay. And you pull yourself down. And again, when we can break our 90 degrees, and there's a whole bunch of different exercises for the goblet squat too.
Right.
So, we have shifting down there, the prying goblet, there's many, many different variations of this to help open up the hips and create, that full range of motion with weight.
Right. And is there that rhythm to it too, the pacing where you're with the goblet? Well,
it's actually with any squat, but the thing is, what are you looking for? Now, I have a basic premise. When if you're doing a grind, which a squat and a press, they're grinds.
Yeah.
A row. And let's say the weight's not heavy enough, you want to make it harder.
All right.
Go slower.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on the ballistics, Maybe if the weight's not heavy enough, well, you know what you do? You go faster. It makes it harder.
Yeah.
So grinds go slower,
Right.
ballistics go faster. So you can have this one weight and do a bunch of things with. Like, let's say we have a weight
Yeah.
that you can do easily 15 reps. Okay, so I'm doing a fast workout. I have a pace. I'm
Yeah.
going my pace here. All right, so you know what? I want to get more out of this. So you know what I'll do? I'll go 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down, and maybe only get 5 reps with the same weight.
Right.
So because I changed the time of this, and the frequency actually changes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm varying this. It's the same load, but I'm changing the time that I'm using.
And you know what? With the time, it feels heavier,
Oh yeah, of course.
right?
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah, sure.
do it slower.
Yeah. Like I had to think called the 10-second push-up. 10 seconds up and 10 seconds down.
That feels like a harder push up,
Oh, yeah.
heavier.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the same person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, you just increase your body weight. You want to increase your body weight on something? Slow it down. You want to increase your body weight on something? Change the angle. Make it a more severe angle. Let's say you can't do it. Well, then, you know what? Make it a less severe angle. Like here, I have people come in and say, I can't do push-ups. Okay. And you know what? Doing push-ups on your knee is a joke.
I
I'll
don't
tell you right
see
now.
any. Yeah.
If you're doing push-ups on your knees 2 years from now, guess what? You'll be doing push-ups on your knees. Get up. Change the angle.
Yeah.
It's a full body movement.
What's that? The initial start too, where after that first push up on your feet, do more of it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah. Well, I also will do a thing I'll call the loaded push-up, and I do have these up on my site. We might be able to pull that up. Try to pull that up. I'll explain it.
we'll try. Yeah.
Now, loaded push-up does not mean that you drink and get drunk and then do push-ups.
Mhm.
Okay. But maybe it's happened a couple times in my life, but this is not what I'm recommending.
Well, someone asks you in a bar to do 20. You're like, all right, well, what'd I do wrong?
Yeah. So on a loaded push-up, what you do is it's on my YouTube channel. What you do is you drop down to the floor. You have your hands off of the ground. You have you're on your toes and your chest,
Mhm.
and you pull your kneecaps up into your quads. Tighten them hard. Have your hands in front of your shoulders. Do not put them on the ground until you're ready to go up. When you're ready to go up, boom, go up. Now, we look at it this way, and you say, well, when you're taught push-ups, right? People say,
Yeah.
oh, okay, here, get into push-up position. Okay, down. Well, you said push up. How come the first movement is down?
Yeah.
Start on the ground and push up. And I'll tell you what, people who have never done push-ups before have been able to do push-ups the first time by doing the loaded push-up. So you're starting on the ground and going up.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that'll do too is change the angle. So you can do push-ups off your steps, off a counter,
Yeah.
so forth, and do them full range of motion. Okay.
Right.
So,
and you get it's a different.
Well, the thing is, you're able to actually do it. And then eventually what you do is when you get better and better at it, you bring the angle down. So then before you know it, you're doing full push-ups on the floor. And then I also have another process that we use when we're doing push-ups on the floor. So people can't get all the way down.
Right.
So we do stack some books up underneath them.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
And then every week take a book away.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're there.
Yeah.
Some people
before you know it, you're there.
Some people start with a basketball and then go to smaller balls and eventually go to a tennis ball. That's one way of doing it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Everyone has. Most people have books in their house.
Or the balance, right, of the ball itself, right? But yeah, if you're starting with
well, it's a target.
It's adjustment.
Well, yeah. When you have a target, people respond to that better.
Yeah.
So I'll put the ball on the floor. I'll put the books on the floor, yoga blocks, whatever it is, and enable them to touch that and then go back up. So I've had a lot of success with that. So things that now body weight also, body weight is also going to expose weaknesses and asymmetries. Okay.
Yeah.
So and it's going to help you compensate for those. And the other thing is too, if you can't move, people say, "Gosh, how much should I weigh?" Well, you know what? Body weight is a great barometer of how much you should weigh. Because if I can't do basic movements with my body weight, maybe I should be lighter.
Yeah, if you're starting out, can you do the basics? Not really. Well, where are you now?
Yeah, and it'll help. It helps you find your ideal weight.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that we do, and it also helps you possess like the proper strength to weight ratio.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because and what you said earlier with the case study in your class,
Mhm.
that particular woman who wanted to the basketball player, like everybody has a different goal, right? So
Right.
where are you meeting in the at the start?
Yeah.
Where do you go from there?
Well, and the things here also with body weight. Here's something else to know about body weight.
Mhm.
It's inexpensive. It costs nothing.
How much?
Okay. Nothing.
Wait,
You
no, there's a catch.
yeah.
There's some money
Oh,
here. Where is it
you know what the
going?
catch is? That you have to work.
There's always a catch.
Well, the catch could be that you purchase one of my systems and then you can use the video reference.
There you go. Yeah.
So we have the
Catch that.
kettlebell workout library. You can get that, and American Legal Live, so forth. We have a nice triple play package there.
Yeah.
And you can have access to gosh, what do we have? Oh, about 500 videos in it.
All
So,
at Master Phil. Whoops.
Yep, all at Master Phil. Just go to Master Phil,
PhilRoss.com.
PhilRoss.com. Check it out. And also definitely check out my YouTube channel. I got a lot of free advice there. It's that's at Master Phil on YouTube.
Mhm.
And you can check that out. So flexibility, as we were talking about, flexible muscle has greater resilience and a higher capacity to develop explosive power. The full range of motion used in the kettlebell bodyweight and suspension training enable the participants to use the whole muscle during the movements. So, especially in respect to opening up joints and accessing the posterior chain. So, you want that flexibility, a flexible muscle, like we just stated.
Yeah.
It enables you to get stronger. And also, what about injury reduction? Because we know what happens when we don't stretch and people go and get all active. Things tear.
Well, what's the flexibility is real motion of your daily life. We all have
Oh, yeah.
time to work out. What were you saying with snacks? To the opportunity in that 6 foot square,
Mhm.
6 foot square space to work out in.
Well, you also
it's a
social distance too.
Yeah, you got that space to work out in.
Yeah.
So that it helps over time. That flexibility.
Mhm.
You're feeling it when you're not working out. That's when
Right.
daily life.
Yeah. So it's called your active daily life or daily living activities. So when you get up, like I'll tell you, I get up in the morning, and every morning I do my stretching
Mhm.
and I do some calisthenics.
First thing,
First thing,
right? You don't eat yet.
Nope.
Maybe some water, even after. Not really.
No. What I do, if anything, what I'll do is I usually make the coffee because my wife likes my coffee. So I
Make it and then go.
I make the fresh coffee. By the time I'm done with my workout, we got a pot of coffee.
I love that routine because
Right.
it's doing the work while you're
Right.
doing work. You get.
Multitasking.
And do you have the coffee too? Do you drink coffee?
Yeah, sometimes I don't drink it all the time.
I was gonna say it's like kind of a reward after
Yeah.
the fact.
Yeah, like if I have to do a lot of grading or something, I'll sit there. I like sipping coffee when I'm grading in the morning. So like today I did, but a lot of times I don't.
Right.
Because then I go right to my workout or training a client or something.
Yeah, but that's a great, while you're doing that first morning routine, something is there for you.
Yeah, as
after.
a reward.
Yeah.
Look, I don't believe in those cheat days and things like that. I believe in reward days. Okay, you should be rewarded.
Yeah.
So you want to get that flexibility and we do a lot of stuff with spinal flexion, full range of motion, and joint mobility. These things enable you to get stronger and reduce injuries. Look, there's no guarantee that you won't get hurt. Okay. But I will guarantee you get hurt if you go to CrossFit. But did I say that?
Well, I got to tell some people to no.
Yeah. But yes. So you want to make sure that you're using your whole muscle during the movement and accessing that posterior chain, joint mobility, and those are all things that we address in the system.
Nice.
So, yeah, actually, and I have up on the YouTube channel, I have a full body mobility and a full body warm up and a full body mobility. Actually, I just put those up pretty recently.
All right, check it out.
Yeah, definitely want to check them out. So now, endurance, muscular and cardiovascular. Okay. The fact that there are many kettlebell workouts that require 10, 20, 50, and even 100 repetitions develop an incredible amount of muscular endurance and brings the exerciser across the three energy systems. You got your ATP, CP, system, you got your anaerobic, and then you have your aerobic. So we have a VO2 max protocol for the kettlebell snatch.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, there was an article on that by McElroy in 2014. It's good to check out.
Good. That's references. Thank you.
References. Yep, just reference. Okay,
Yeah.
It's not just me saying this stuff. And the cool thing about referencing is that even if you know the subject inside and out, you have
Yeah.
corroboration on what you're espousing. You have verification, validation of your point.
Absolute validation.
Yeah.
You see that it's you can correlate with other experts in the field that this is the correct way to do it, and
Right.
you could find the wrong information easily.
Very easily, especially in this
Yeah.
cyber world. So, muscular endurance,
Mhm.
cardiovascular endurance, because a lot of people maybe they don't like to run. Like I used to love running. I can't do it. I can't run because my feet and knees and hips from all my years of training and fighting
Yeah.
have been a little beat up there.
Well, it seems like I remember running on grass,
Oh yeah,
which is the best thing
that's the
ever.
best, yeah.
Why would I ever run
Oh.
on concrete, on
Well-
the sidewalk, on the street? I'm bang, and I ran cross country in
Yeah.
high school,
Yeah.
and those the 5Ks would kill you.
Oh yeah.
I don't run anywhere but grass.
I'll tell you that's when I do my sprinting and so forth. I do it on grass.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
just I don't know. It's the impact on concrete is gonna blow up
That-
your knee in 20 years.
20 it'll blow,
Easy.
it'll blow
Yeah.
up my knee in 20 minutes now. so with the kettlebells, you can get your muscular and cardiovascular endurance. If
Mhm.
you keep your heart rate high, you're doing a HIIT workout.
Yeah.
Or I've developed a thing called scrambled eggs. Do a scrambled eggs workout, or another thing I called the Warriors Challenge. Where you're constantly moving for over 20 minutes.
Okay.
Man, that heart rate is
That's nonstop.
it's nonstop. And and of course, like I just discussed before, the VO2 max protocol.
Great.
So now weight class athletes. So there's two primary methods that increase strength: muscle hypertrophy, as we discussed, and
Mhm.
also neural adaptation. Standard resistance training increases strength in response to loads by increasing the size of the muscle fiber,
Okay.
right? And then the muscles get bigger. Due to the offset center of gravity of the kettlebell, the body must respond by recruiting motor units, stabilizers, intrinsic muscles
Mhm.
to keep the kettlebell alignment throughout the movements. So I focus on this called hard style kettlebell training. It teaches, in quote, the body how to be strong without adding great amounts of mass. So it's a harder, more flexible, more explosive, and lean body as the result. So if you can see that, as a weight class athlete,
Right.
you want to be as strong as you can at that particular weight.
Of course.
So if I'm lifting weights and I lift myself out of a different weight class,
You're out of
If it-
that competition.
and now I have to am I really taking advantage of my strength gains? So here with a kettlebell,
Mhm.
You're getting a stronger body at a lower weight.
Right.
And especially, of course, body weight does the same thing. I mean, you ever see a fat gymnast?
No.
Right. Exactly. I mean, these people they're ripped.
Like the guys on the hobble horse, or the horse.
The horse, yeah, the pommel horse.
Pommel horse, excuse me. I don't know what a hobble horse is.
But
But
that's when you
but
chop
those
one of
guys,
the legs off of a horse and they hobble, and then you have to put it down.
those guys on the horse are just incredible. Like that's the spins on
Or
that.
the rings.
Oh
People on
my!
the ring. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just
My
insane.
uncle did gymnastics for a bit, and the stuff he was capable of doing was
Yeah.
like,
I mean, that's the incredible strength, and you look at the strength per pound, right? And that's what's important. And that brings us to another thing: is like it's a great bang for the buck.
Hmm.
So not only are kettlebells a great bang for the buck for the amount of strength you're going to get per body weight,
Yeah.
but also for time efficient. Okay.
there you go.
So here, you know what? Not too many of us have 2 to 3 hours to sit there in a gym.
No.
We just don't. So, with a kettlebell, I mean, if you do a 45-minute workout, you could be smoked. And if you don't have time, you could do a 20-minute workout. You do a 20-minute HIIT workout or 12-minute hit workout, if you don't have a lot of time,
Right.
you can get a lot of work in, because we have, like we were talking about, Tabatas, where it's 10 seconds on, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off.
Okay.
That was developed by Professor Tabata. Like I talked before about the scrambled eggs that I
Right.
developed, and then the Warriors Challenge. So actually, I talk about Warriors Challenge and some of these other scrambled eggs and so forth in the book Ferocious Fitness.
Right.
And a lot of fighters use these, and and we can hit all the aspects. You can hit your mobility, your strength, your explosive power, your cardiovascular, muscular conditioning with one tool.
And this is still related to the amount of time that you're putting in. That's great.
Look, I could. Okay, buddy of mine years ago, he's probably listening right now. Is Percy? He's been on the podcast before.
Right.
So, I mean, this guy, he won police powerlifting, contests.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, like 500-pound bench, all this crazy stuff, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. So, I took a 35-pound kettlebell. I put him through a half-hour workout. He was sore for 3 days. Now, this is a guy who's a champion powerlifter.
It's a different, yeah.
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 And he's like, and now he's turned on to him. He has a group down at the college he teaches at.
Oh, he brought it now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's adopted, man. He loves it.
That's great.
And he works him out twice a week with kettlebells. And then he does his other training other days. But he does twice a week, at least twice a week on the kettlebells.
That's great.
Yeah. So we were talking about young athletes trained safely. Right.
Right.
So kettlebells are safe to use for young athletes. Why? Because of the offset center of gravity, as we discussed before. A much lighter kettlebell may be used, whereas if you're trying to achieve the same goal with a barbell or a dumbbell or a machine, it would encourage you to use a much heavier weight. So
right. So this would be a lighter weight.
It's a lighter weight, but you get more out of it.
Right.
Because you have to recruit much more. Look, when I was competing in powerlifting, in a competition, my best squat was 5 1/4.
Right.
Not bad for a 180-pounder.
That's great.
But now if I take 140 pounds of kettlebells,
right,
I'm getting just as good a workout with 100, as me slapping, or me slapping 300 pounds, 400 pounds on my back.
That's a statement itself that a lighter weight kettlebell is
exactly, it saves the joints. So what you're doing is you're actually reducing the amount of stress on your joints.
Yeah.
And this is particularly important for kids.
Of course.
Okay. Because kids, what they tend to do is they tend to jack up the weight and they get their egos involved, especially young boys.
Right.
And they're saying, oh, I can do more, bench. And then their form is garbage.
Is that it? Yeah. Because it's like the question, what do you bench?
Right.
Can you even bench?
Hey, you know what? Oh, one thing I forgot. We didn't finish up our squat routine.
I remember the
yeah. So
go back to that. We'll cut it up.
Here we go. So no,
in post.
Put it right here.
Yeah.
So when our squat routine, this would be a good one to put. 4 squats, you need to 1, start with a body weight squat. 2, go to a goblet squat. 3, raise the kettlebell or bar and do a front squat. After the front squat, if you're going to go progress any further, you do a high bar back squat. That means up high on your traps. And then, and only then, when you've mastered all of these, do you do the low bar. So you put it across a little lower on your back, like, for a powerlifting competition.
That's the last one.
That's the last one. But most people, what most trainers do is they'll take a lot of people and bring them right to that squat bar and throw the weight on their back.
That's why
this is how you get injured. Okay. And a lot of young kids are not going to go and take the time and do the squats in that, right? They're going to go right in there.
That sequence.
Right. They're not going to do the sequence. No. And then they're going to get injured.
Okay. And that injury at a young age stays with you to an older age.
Yep. And it just gets progressively worse. So
no, I'm glad we came back to that too.
Yeah. I've been hitting the head, but I guess I remember once in a while. So
no, we'll get that. That's an important thing in the back too, because if they're starting you on the back, you're already.
Yeah, look, you've not developed the muscles to support that weight.
Exactly.
You've not developed them yet, because it's all about core tightness and strength.
Yeah, and we all are, but especially you're still growing as a kid, right? I mean, it's only like
Yeah, you want
It's
to.
too much. It's too much for like a high schooler.
Yeah, well,
you know?
you want to reduce the stress on the joints. You don't want to increase it. You want to build them up. You don't
Yeah.
want to, just load them up without proper form. So that those are our top 10 reasons for using kettlebell and body weight. And all this is accomplished with the Body Bell method. In addition to getting certified in this method, okay, when you take a seminar,
Mhm.
you get if you're ACE or NASM certified, you get credits toward your learning. So you get CEUs, so
Very,
continuing education
very
units,
good.
or continuing education credits, depending upon the organization.
Yeah.
And all of the other personal training organizations accept these as well. So all you have to do is fire it off to them.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Very valuable.
Oh yeah. Well, even and also in addition to that, you also, as a member of the Body Bell Instructor Corps, you get access to all of the video training by Master Phil.
That is included.
Yes, that's included. That's included.
That's awesome.
Yeah, look. I want to create great instructors, and then we also have a Facebook page that's dedicated to the Body Bell method as well, where we answer questions and so forth. Yeah,
and then creating great that's a reflection of you.
well, that's my goal, man.
You're not just gonna let someone say they were trained by you if they're not. They got to be. They got to do the work.
Hey, you got to earn it, and you got to be tested. There's a test for all of these.
Exactly.
Okay, and it's a physical test as well. So you have to be in shape, and you have to know your technique.
Yeah, and you got to. And this is all what we started with the show. You're in studying. This is all with you.
Yep.
This is recall, and this is what you're going to take with you and take on in the future.
Well, one of the reasons that I also created a lot of these online training resources is to help people. Well, okay, you go to a seminar, and what happens sometimes, you forget different movements, or you're even if you read it, oh gosh, what's an arm bar? Oh, okay, here it is. You have video representation of it.
I think a lot more people are visual learners, and they need to see that. Of course, with with all this, you need to see properly what's going on.
Absolutely. Good.
We have a comment here. I'll show this from Paula Bird.
Oh, Paula, leaving a legacy.
That's
Paula.
it.
I'll tell you what. That's what I want to do. I want to leave this legacy. I want people to carry it on. I mean, why go and reinvent the wheel? Look, take what I've done, right, and then make it better.
Yeah.
Like use it.
Yeah.
Don't reinvent the wheel. There's no reason to do it.
No, standing on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah. And that's what we want to do.
That's it. Thank you, Paula, for chiming in. We went through all 10.
Yes.
All 10.
Hit all of them.
And we're just meeting that hour mark too. It's been a great episode. Happy to be here on the side filling in. And Paula, thank you for chiming in too.
All right. Well, thank you very much for listening, and thank you for another episode of Master Phil in your corner. Strength and honor.